All right, so maybe we'll kick things off. We'll get started. I am excited to be here. Do we have another person coming? Okay. Excited to be here. My name is Eric Souza. I've seen some of you before, some familiar faces. Real quick, Chris is here from The Independent. I guess a journalist, is that the right title for Chris? Journalist for The Independent. He's doing a story about the session today. If you have thoughts or comments about, I guess, either the COA or some of the sessions you've gone to, or even this session, Chris. This session especially, okay. So I need to do an extra good job if I'm going to be getting feedback on this. Anyways, after my session, if you want to contribute any feedback to Chris and what he's doing, he will hang around afterwards. But again, my name is Eric Souza. I serve as the Chief Technology Officer and the Chief Information Security Officer for a Boston-based investment firm. So essentially what that means is I am responsible for leading both the technology and the cybersecurity programs for that company. I love doing these sessions because I just feel like I'm just sharing like what I know and what I learn, and I have a lot of visibility into cyber attacks and mostly like on the corporate level, some really bad things that have happened in terms of like large like thefts and cyber attacks. So so anyways, these sessions are really just to kind of share what I've learned and seen, and hopefully they give you some tips about specifically like cyber risks for seniors, because it's a very specialized thing that's happening. And by the way, we talk about like cyber risk for seniors. There's no like group, there's no age group, and there's no group of people that aren't targeted. Like every group of people is targeted. Young people, middle-aged people, people that work in banks, people that work in like corporate jobs. So like this is not like a specific thing for you all, but just hopefully like the big takeaway from this is just understanding some of the tactics that they use with seniors, because it is a fairly unique group. I love to show this off. This is 8-year-old me in this picture somewhere. What's so awesome about this picture is that this is my second grade class at Pompasiticate. Does anybody know where Pompasiticate is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's this building. Yes. So this was the old Pompasiticate school, and is this going to work? It's not.
Did you know that?
I will point. That's me in that sweet turtleneck. I wish I still had that turtleneck, but yeah, so I went to elementary school in this building, so it's always like so exciting to come back and revisit 1980. It's a long time ago.
You have the striped turtleneck?
That's me, yes. If I had that still, I would be wearing it today, but sadly, I do not.
What was your teacher's name?
I guess that's not going to work. Ms. Chaikin was her name.
She looks exactly the same today.
Yeah, she probably does. In my mind, she'll always look the same. Okay, so just to like circle back and highlight like why are seniors targeted? One is I think that cyber actors and cyber criminals see seniors as people that have some sort of savings, right? When you're younger in life, you're sort of building to the point where you can retire. And I think the theory is with cyber criminals is that when you retire and you become a senior, you've got some level of savings. Some people have more than others, but that's very enticing to cyber criminals, and it's super mean, like to really like prey on people who have fixed income and have basically a nest egg, right? That they're trying to like protect for the rest of their lives. So that's one thing cyber criminals are focused on. The other thing is just, I can attest to this with being here, like I would say that like seniors are super nice and engaging and polite and respectful as a group. There's probably some that don't follow those rules, but you know, like you're engaging. Like I think if somebody that's you deem to be like trustful, you know, you're more likely to engage with them. And I think that they prey off of that. And the last thing is isolation and loneliness. There are some seniors that, you know, maybe don't have as much interaction with family or maybe just people in the public as much as they used to. And so they prey on that, right? They prey on like the isolationism of being a senior and like maybe providing, like filling that gap. And they try to take advantage of that. So those are really the big 3 reasons why seniors are targeted. These are just some heavy stats from the FBI. So just to kind of give you some context on like how serious this is, there's a lot of money funneling out of people's bank accounts and into cyber criminals' bank accounts. Most cyber criminals don't actually reside in the US, they're typically like overseas, and that's why it's hard to prosecute them. If they were US, the FBI and the DOJ could get involved with trying to track them down, but most of the time they're like in Russia or the Middle East or in North Korea, there's no way to track them down. So, when your money's gone, it's gone. And so you need to take extra precaution with these types of things. So these numbers may not mean a whole lot, but the $7 billion number, so that was last year, that's the total amount of losses from seniors last year, which is double the previous record. But what's scary about that is not everybody reports it. So that's just $7 billion of what they know. But I mean, a lot of people, when this happens to them, are super embarrassed about it, and they oftentimes don't tell anybody, right? Because it's embarrassing. And so it's certainly much higher, right? That 7 billion number, it's certainly much higher. The crypto, so the second frame here is loss to crypto and investment scams. Is anybody familiar with crypto? Have you seen those crypto machines around in stores? You can buy crypto.
Get crypto for your cans.
What's that?
If you take your change into Shaw's, I see there's a sign there, you can get crypto.
Oh, you can get crypto, yeah. And so what these actors try to do is they try to get you to pay them in crypto because it's not traceable. There's anonymity with crypto accounts, and it's really hard to pull back. Once you transfer crypto coins to somebody, it's virtually impossible to reverse that transaction. So they do try to get you to pay them or do things in crypto. 2,000, over 200,000 seniors reported last year. But again, the stat that the FBI uses is that only 15% of victims report losses. So those numbers are way, way higher. Frankly, I would be surprised if every single one of you haven't been targeted at some point, whether you know it or not. I'm curious if any of you did. So you know that you've gotten a phone call or you've seen an email come through?
No, I went to the wrong site.
You went to the wrong site, and did you get a pop-up? What exactly happened?
No, but my bank kicked me out when I started trying to buy.
Oh, I see, so your bank identified that it might have been a fraudulent activity. Got it. Yeah, it is a good thing. It sounds like maybe you've seen it too?
Got a demand letter.
Really?
Send us
Say it again?
$1,300 worth of Bitcoin.
No kidding. So a physical letter in the mail, or was it an email?
Not in the mail, they're too smart for that.
It was an email.
An email.
Yes. Yes, that's fantastic. So, and you also have seen something?
Yeah, I got a text message purportedly from the Registry of Motor Vehicles.
That's a very popular one.
Saying
Yeah.
that I, had an overdue toll or something.
Yeah.
And I fairly quickly figured out that it was a scam.
Yes. Well, good for you. It sounds like maybe you've seen it too.
It's happened to me twice, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
My son and my daughter are furious. They don't trust me.
Because that happened.
They took my phone away
Oh, wow.
because they didn't trust what I was going to do.
Yeah.
All I was doing, and luckily both banks caught it, but then we don't have a credit card now because both banks are, in the
Because it was fraudulent activity on it. Yeah.
looking at it and trying to dispute it.
Right. Yeah.
And one of the companies was from, I thought, San Francisco. I was trying to do the exercise program and a weight loss program. And it was out of San Francisco and it seemed very legit. Then it turns out it was from Lithuania.
Yeah.
And there was no way of tracing it.
Yeah. That's a tough.
emailing me.
Yeah, they're very persistent. Yeah. It sounds like you've seen something
Yeah,
as well.
talk to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm an officer in a couple nonprofit organizations. I routinely get emails from, quote, the president saying you need to
Oh, yeah.
call me back and provide some
Wire some money.
See, and
Yeah.
Our, for one reason or another.
Yeah. Well, here's what I would just say about that. So I do the cyber training for the people at my company, and most of the people at the firm I work at have double Harvard degrees. I mean, they've got Harvard undergraduate degrees, and then they continued on. They have their MBAs. Some of the smartest people I've ever been around, they fall victim to the same types of scams in a different way as you do. So it's not about. I get a lot from people. I feel so dumb. I feel stupid. It's not about that at all. It's not about how intelligent you are. It's really just about awareness and understanding what's happening and what to look out for. So I hope you just all keep that in mind, because I do feel like people feel bad and just feel like I'm an idiot. How could I fall for that? But again, it's not about someone's intelligence level. And so as we're talking today, hopefully you'll see some things that will that you'll remember. So when that happens to you, you'll see that. I remember Eric talking about that, and I'm going to shut that down. But part of it too, honestly, is like not being so nice. Because sometimes like they do prey on you being nice and responding, and sometimes you just have to say, you know what, I'm going to hang up the phone.
Do most people get calls?
Some people do get calls, yeah. Yeah, so what I thought we could do is I put together like 5 like very popular scams that are targeted towards seniors. I thought maybe we could just talk through those. But one is a new one called AI voice cloning. And so this uses something called deepfake, where typically what they'll do is they'll try to find if you have a social media presence, like if you have a Facebook account, they'll try to find that account, and then they'll try to see like who your grandkids are, like connected through that account. Then they'll go to the grandkids' accounts and see if they have any videos posted. And if they have videos posted, they're able to then record the voices of the children and then use that recording through AI mechanisms to create new voice recordings. So they'll call you or leave a voice message with a voice that sounds just like your grandchild. And it's typically like it's a very desperate message, like, my car's been towed, I don't want to tell mom and dad because they'll be so mad at me, can you send me $500? And this happened to someone that I work with where his dad thought he got a text message from their grandson who basically said like, I've been arrested, my dad's gonna kill me if he finds out, you're the one person I can trust, can you send me $2,000 so I can get out of jail? And the grandfather wanted to do the right thing, like, hey, like, I feel so honored and privileged that my grandson is like reaching out to me for help, and it totally like preyed on his want and his willingness to like try to help his grandkid, and there goes $2,000 that never came back. But in those situations, so just to walk you through this real quick before I finish my thought. So we talked about like harvesting your grandchild's voice. So you get a panicked call, right? Like, I'm in jail, my car's broken down, like I need money like right now. Sometimes they even take it a step further where it's like, okay, the grandson or grandchild's calling from jail, and they'll actually put on what's supposed to be like a police officer on the phone to kind of like stress the importance of you need to help this person. And then the last one is secrecy. Like they're preying on the fact that like as a grandparent, like you're being asked for help in a very like confidential way. But the defense for this is the FBI recommends that you have like a code word that you use with your family. I don't know that a lot of people are going to do that. I'm mentioning it because it's recommended. So as an example, like if you had a discussion with your extended family, you could say, listen, if any of you ever need to call me for help, here's the code word that you use. That way I know it's you and not somebody else. I don't know how many people will do that in practice, but I'm mentioning it because that's what the FBI recommends. Frankly, the second one is the best thing to do, just hang up. Like, let's say like your grandson or granddaughter does call you or text you, hang up the phone and call them back on the number that you have for them, right? Because that will shut the whole thing down if you do that. Again, it kind of like forces you to not be nice for a moment, like, hey, I'm gonna hang up, I need to call you right back, but you've got to do it. That's the only way that you can be certain that the call is real is if you initiate the call, or you're calling them, not them calling you, because they can also mask like the caller ID to say anything they want. They can say it's from a police station, they can say it's from a hospital, they can say it's from an individual. So you need to take control of that situation, right? And not let that situation take control of you. Best way to do that is to hang up and call back. No government agency or bonds bailment is going to ask for like a gift card. That's another thing, like aside from crypto. They try to get you to buy like gift cards. Why? Any thoughts on why they try to get you to buy gift cards?
Not traceable.
Yeah, they're not traceable, right? You buy a gift card and you give it to them, like electronically, it's gone. Like you can't pull that back and it's not traceable. So again, no one's going to ask you to do that, like legitimately. Just the concept of having a trusted person before sending money. Yeah, so again, the trick, really the rule here is like, if you get a phone call, hang up and call them back. And you can say it nicely if you want to, hey, I need to call you right back. You don't have to even say why, but try to take control of that situation. So government imposters is another big one, again, with seniors. Social Security, like we're all super protective and worried about Social Security, so you get a call from a Social Security person, you're probably like, I need to talk to them. So here's like a typical script. And by the way, we can send this this slide deck out after the presentation too, if you want to, or if you would like to have it. So a typical script. This is Agent Williams from the Social Security Administration. Your Social Security number has been suspended due to suspicious activity. You owe back taxes. A warrant is out for your arrest. To be clear, to clear your name, you must pay immediately by gift card or wire transfer. Do not tell anyone about this call or you will be arrested. So, I mean, it sounds silly when you read it, but a lot of people do get stuck and fall for this because the first thing they hear is Social Security and they're like, holy crap, like, I can't let anything happen to that. But again, I will revert back to the best thing you can do is if this is an email, like ignore the email and just go direct to Social Security. If you like call them directly, if you have a login for your Social Security, log into your Social Security account and look to see if there's anything unusual there. But again, it's about you taking control of that situation, not letting the situation take control or dictate like what you're going to do. So I talked about the gift cards. Social Security and IRS will never cold call you. Talked about like the caller IDs. Like, don't trust any caller IDs. Those can be anybody can spoof a caller ID and make it whatever they want. And then the urgency piece of it, like they're always going to pressure you to do it now. Like for whatever reason, it's like you need to do this now. Otherwise, you're going to get arrested, or your account's going to get suspended, or you're going to lose money. That should be a trigger. That should be like a red flag in your head. If you feel like you're being pressured, that's a red flag, and you need to say, hold on a second. I need to take a step back, and I need to try to control like this situation. Scam 3 is tech support. I got a call from my father-in-law last year who said, I'm on the phone with Microsoft because I got this pop-up on my computer screen that said I have a virus, and call this number and Microsoft will help me clear the virus. So he's on the phone with Microsoft, and he sends me a text message while he's on the phone with them, and he's like, hey, does this sound okay? And I said, no, this does not sound okay. Like, you need to hang up right now and not proceed any further. So has anybody seen this? Has anybody gotten like a pop-up? Yeah, a bunch. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Like you go to a website, and the website, basically what happens is the website has been compromised. And it's been compromised so that when people go there, like a pop-up appears. And right, they want you to call them. And then when you call them, you're probably talking to somebody like in the Philippines or North Korea. And again, their goal is to get you to give them your credit card number or to give you access to your computer. And then once they have access to your computer, they'll do one of two things. They'll try to get you to show them your bank account. They'll try to like walk you through some steps where they can see your bank account. And that's part of a longer scheme. Like once they see your bank account, then they transition, which is part of this like scam number 3. Next, you'll get a call from the bank. And they'll ask you, and the bank will say you've got a problem with your account. These are the things that you need to do to resolve it. And sometimes they're even sophisticated enough where they have a third person call you where they're like a government employee of some sort. Again, like if you're getting phone calls, you should not feel bad about hanging up or being rude and saying that like I need to look into this and call you back. Like again, take control of the situation. Like you call the bank yourself. Like don't allow the bank to call you. Hang up, call your bank directly, ask them, tell them exactly what happened, and just ask questions. And you'll probably very quickly find out that it was an illegitimate phone call. Chris.
Yeah, I got a call the other day from a distant number in the US saying, this is someone from tech support.
Yes.
And I'm just like, wrong number, and I hung up.
Yeah.
And I had no idea, because I know my server company, and it was,
That's a scam, right. I mean,
but it was unsolicited. I didn't click on a website or anything. Is that something that fits in any of your categories?
I think it would probably fit into this category. Yeah, instead of a web pop-up, they got your phone number from some like phone number dump that they have, and they're probably calling like millions of phone numbers. It's a percentage game for them, right? So let's say they call 1 million phone numbers. How many people do you think they need to get on the hook for it to be worthwhile? Like 3%. Yeah, I mean, right. It's like they get, I don't know, 1% of 1 million people fall for it. Like this isn't like they need to get everybody. It's like, so what Chris did was awesome because if Chris hung up, they're going to scratch that phone number off the list and go to the next one. They're not going to bother with Chris because Chris identified himself as someone that's aware. It's kind of like going into an apartment building and walking down the hallway and turning every knob until you find one that's unlocked. That's exactly what they do. And so if you can show any kind of resistance, it's not worth it for them.
The number, and it didn't really lead to anything.
It didn't come up with anything, yeah. A lot of those numbers they're temporary and disposable. And so there's no one associated with them. But yeah, just like I manage a very sophisticated cyber program at my firm, and what I articulate to my team all the time is that we need to show resistance. Because when we're being attacked, if we show resistance, they're going to go on to the next company. They're not going to waste their time. It's not worth their while to do that. And so you resist and let them go on to the next person. Like, feel bad for that next person, but they will move on because it's just not worth their time. There's hundreds of millions of people out there that they can target. Okay, so that's scam 3. Scam 4, this romance thing. I don't know if anyone has gotten any outreaches about romance, but this kind of preys on like the isolationism of being older, maybe not having a partner, and some people longing for that, and it's really an awful thing that they prey on. But and this is an awful term that's used for it, but it's called pig butchering.
Called what?
On Facebook, I get all these love messages
Oh, you do?
from different names.
Yeah.
Same picture of the lieutenant colonel in the army.
Oh, really? Some very handsome fellow, I assume.
The very with the medals.
Yeah.
I'm rolling on the floor laughing.
Yeah, but again, you think it's funny, you don't fall for it, but how many people out of a million might be like, whoa, like I've been waiting for this.
Yeah.
And so that's the sad part. It just kind of snowballs a little bit, and it will start like very innocently, where, the person seems charming and maybe handsome or pretty, and it's very innocent. It's just very like innocent, like text messages or emails. Like, this person's not pushy, they're not asking for anything, but then that transitions to building trust, right? Because if you don't feel like this person's like wanting anything, then that like inherently builds trust with that person. And so once that happens over a few weeks or a few months, then that'll transition to like, hey, I just stumbled across this amazing investment opportunity. Like, no pressure. If you're interested, I can get you in on it. So, that happens, and then, I think where the story ends there. Like, you make an investment and it's gone. But I don't know if I think I missed this on the first slide, but I think it's worth noting that for seniors, this number blows me away, but the average loss for a senior through a scam is $38,000.
What?
The average. That's of the reported ones. Wow. Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, that
That's a
is.
substantial amount of money.
It's a substantial amount of money.
Someone gives that away? They know they're giving it away?
Yeah. Some people, there are people that have given away hundreds of thousands of dollars for various reasons. So I think this would probably fall into that trap. Like, this is an amazing investment opportunity. $50,000 today is going to equal $100,000 next month, and like, you're never going to see that again. Okay, so any thoughts on this? Again, it's kind of sad that this happens, but yeah. Scam number 5. I'm sure you all have gotten phishing emails. Does everybody know what phishing emails are? I think that's a pretty common thing now. They're emails that someone sends that are not legitimate. Essentially, they're fake emails. They're emails that try to get you to do something, whether it's like click on a link or like buy this product. They're phishing, right? So again, like, think about like the million people, like, they're phishing. How many of the million people actually will click on that email they sent?
So I got an email yesterday. It was for a charge that was going to be debited from my account within the next 24 hours. It was, I don't know, $400 and some odd dollars for Norton.
Oh, right.
It makes you think, oh,
I've seen that too.
yeah, I hate those scammers.
Yes. And so, like, what was your reaction when you got that?
I immediately was suspicious.
Yep.
Because by nature, anything that comes across like that, I don't believe.
Right.
But it said that it was going to be charged to my, and I would see it on my statements. It didn't say my credit card, it said bank. So, and it was Norton, and then it said deluxe, like.
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
company?
Yeah.
Well, I wrote checks through my bank, and they debit, they give them to me free, but, it would be connected to my bank account.
Right.
And so I was like,
That's scary, right?
No.
Right.
so I called the bank.
Good for you. That's
And they
great.
said, oh yeah, we know about this. We'll keep an eye on your account.
Good for you.
but I wouldn't, don't do anything about it.
Right.
And let people.
But it's annoying, right? It's annoying that you have to do that.
I know.
You know, like it's too bad that you have to do that, but you'll sleep better at night that you did do that.
Well,
That you got
I didn't
confirmation.
get sucked in, except when I read that part.
Mm.
The thing I didn't read carefully was who it came from.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
who it came from
That's always a good
was a
idea.
bunch of
Yeah,
numbers.
like the email address, right?
Right.
That's a great one, which I think I have on.
That is something you don't
Oh, yeah.
automatically look at.
Right. So that's a great call out because that's in this slide here. But some wonky email address, like whose email address is that? Like that email address is for nobody. And so, but they can mask it. Like sometimes they'll just have like a real name on top of it. But if you put your mouse over it, a little bubble will come up and show the actual email address. Yeah. And if it looks like that, then you're like, okay, this is not legit. Yeah, so phishing, so this is just a sample phishing account. Dear valued customer, we have detected unusual activity on your account. Your account has been temporarily locked. Click below immediately to verify your identity on your account, or your account will be permanently closed within 24 hours. So in this email, they want you to click the link below.
Immediately.
Immediately, right. But again, like, go back to the million people thing. Like, how many people are gonna get freaked out by that? Like, my God, my bank account's gonna get frozen? So two things will happen if you click that link. One, if you click that link, you could initiate what's called malware being installed in your machine. Malware stands for malicious software. And typically, if that gets installed in your machine, that could give the attacker access to your computer. So that's one bad outcome by clicking on that. The second and more likely outcome of when you click on that, it brings you to a fake like page that looks like a page from your bank, and it's going to ask you for some verifying information. So this is your bank. Just verify this information, and this problem will go away. Like your account won't be locked. So it'll ask for your name, your address, and your bank account number, and maybe even a password. It's a fake page. Like you type that in, and they're collecting that information. As soon as you type that in, they're going to go and log in as you, and then transfer money out. So, what would you do if you got this email and you were like, "This could be my bank. I'm not really sure, but this could be my bank."
What she did, call the bank.
Yes, that's exactly right. Call the bank. I got this email. Anything wrong with my account? Nope, your account looks fine. Thank you very much. Boom. Delete the
I
email.
got one from Bank of America telling me that, my $718, bill just came in and it hasn't been paid. And I'm like, I don't even have Bank of America.
Right. Yeah.
So that was a real interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, like of the million people they email that to,
Yeah.
maybe 10% of those people have Bank of America
Right,
accounts. So
right.
in their mind, it's like, holy crap, like this might be it. This might be real. So
I thought that
yeah,
was a funny one.
that was a good clue. Okay, so
Stupid.
fake sender address we talked about, urgency you know about, suspicious links we just talked about, and then when in doubt, just delete it. Like honestly, like just delete it. Like you'll get a phone call from your bank if something's really wrong with your account. They're not going to email you. You're going to get a phone call from them because they take on probably more risk than the account holder. Right? It's this fraudulent activity on your bank account. 90% of the time, the bank will assume that risk and reimburse you. I don't want to give you false hope that's going to happen every single time, but typically, like they're going to take that risk. So even if you don't call, I would just err on the side of just deleting it.
It was my bank that saved my ass yesterday when I fell into a website. They just kept rejecting. I thought I had gone to the Mass RMV
Oh, right.
to renew my plate,
Yeah.
but it was a spoof site, and somehow it snuck in. It looked like the Mass RMV site, the same colors, the same boxes and all that stuff. So when I got down to pay, my bank, none of my credit cards, they kept bouncing.
Wow. That's awesome on your bank.
Yeah, I was thrilled. I mean, I
Yeah.
called the guy up afterwards and I said, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, right. That's awesome.
But,
Yeah, again, the banks have just as much at stake here as you do. They don't want that to be happening. So that's awesome that they had that fraud protection
right.
in place. So they had already identified that website as being not real. Yeah, that is fantastic. Oh yeah, so that was the last one. So those are like the 5 I wanted to cover. Are there any scams that any of you have seen that weren't one of those 5 that may be a little bit unusual?
I got a very sophisticated one here where the Stow Lions Club
Really?
had an appointment, with the zoning board.
Yeah.
of Appeals, and there was an appeal going there, and all of a sudden, the ex-president got an email from the Town of Stow Zoning Board of Appeals, and then the email address was townofstow@accountant.com.
Town of Stow at a-
Nobody noticed that because there was so much urgent stuff in here saying,
Right.
your appeal has been approved, and here's the bill for the approval, and they on official looking letterhead with.
That is very official looking. And that-
Stow
And that's
seal.
an invoice?
Yeah, an invoice, and they said, because we've had trouble with non-payment of checks, we want you to wire us.
Wow.
And or the only response they had was back to their fake email address to get the instructions.
How much
on where to
how much were they asking for?
It was over 7,000.
Yeah. Did
We
you
had it enumerated, and it really looked official, and it took in several of us, and then somebody in the club.
Did you hear about the town in Colorado that lost over $500,000?
Really?
Like a very similar scam where they thought they were getting an invoice from a contractor who had like done all the roads over in the town. It was for like $540,000, and they were expecting it. So what happened was the email of one of the town employees got hacked. The attacker got in there, and typically what they'll do is when they hack an email of an employee like that, they'll watch, and they'll sit in there for like a month or two, and they'll learn, and they'll watch what's happening. And so my guess is they probably saw like, okay, there's road work being done. This is the vendor that's doing it. This is what they agreed upon, because the attacker could probably see like the quote, and maybe it's public knowledge, right? Exactly. Exactly.
The minutes of government meetings.
That's a great point.
They can get so
That's a
much
great
information.
point.
So a lot of this is regurgitated from what was.
That's a great point.
On the agenda.
Yes. And they could probably do it from an AI tool. So if you use ChatGPT, you could probably say to ChatGPT, go read the meeting minutes from the Stow meeting on X date, like create a summarization of that and help me create an email.
The only clue was the email address was not an official
Yeah.
email. And someplace where they talked about the property in question, they got the address completely wrong. They had it out in Michigan.
Oh, yeah, they've
So
done this before.
so who I'm curious.
So they cut and pasted from somebody else's scam.
Yeah.
they were trying
I'm
to
curious
pull.
who caught that, or how was it caught?
One of the members looked
Yeah.
at it and said, looked twice after a couple of us had
Yeah, this
panicked. And said,
Yeah.
how can the town of Stow charge us $7,000 for it?
right.
What are we paying them for?
Yeah, right.
It was very dramatic. And I looked at it and I thought, the town of Stowe is not gonna put the seal like that on it.
Yeah, right.
Look at how that is.
Right. The town's not that
That isn't the way the town.
the town's not that fancy.
The town is not that fancy. So graphically, I'd call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great call out. Yeah, I mean, fortunately towns are targeted. Like it's
Yeah, the transparency of having everything on the website.
yeah, right. Can be very painful. I thought I would just mention just real quick about passwords. The thing with passwords is you don't have to make it like crazy complex. What I tell people is to make a password that's like 20 characters long, but that's super rememberable. And so like this is what I tell my daughters and my wife when they're creating passwords, like just take 4 random words. And so in this example, puppy, shoe, apple, bike, all one word, that's 20 characters. And what attackers try to do is they use what's called a brute force, like password attack, where they will try to guess your password, and they can do like 1 trillion guesses a second. But the longer the password, the more iterations they need to do. So for a 20-character password, even though it's all lowercase and has no special characters, with one of those tools that they use, it would probably take them 40 or 50 years to get through all those iterations and guess your password. The problem with complex passwords is they're super hard to remember. Yes, and people tend to reuse them on site. What's that?
If you put them in a vault.
Yes, you use a vault, use a password vault, you do, good for you. Yeah, there are password programs that can protect your passwords. Most people don't use them. Did you have a question?
That's because you have to have a password to get into.
Right, right, that's so true. Maybe somebody should tell them, right.
Remember one.
You only have to remember one, you better make sure that's darn good password, right.
Well, what about, I'm so suspicious.
Yeah.
I think, couldn't the vault be hacked?
The vault could be hacked. Yes, there's no reason why the vault couldn't be hacked, which is why I don't consider passwords to be a security mechanism, because they can be guessed, they can be figured out, they can be, if you've got it like stored somewhere, they could be stolen. The only way to really protect your online accounts is to use what's called multi-factor authentication. Is anybody familiar with that?
I've done that.
Yeah, so that is a must, particularly with like anything that's important to you, a bank account, your Gmail account, your
Credit card accounts?
credit card account, fidelity account. So think about like all the accounts you have, and then think about which one of these accounts would be painful for me if it got hacked. And make sure that that account has multi-factor, or it's sometimes called dual-factor authentication, which requires a password and then another form. And it's usually like maybe it's like a text message to your phone. Sometimes it's like a push notification. Sometimes it's something through an app. But that is required for any important account. Like, make sure you have that.
So,
Yeah.
so I was at the bank doing some banking, but they wouldn't do it until they sent me, I was sitting right there, and they sent me a text message, and I had to tell them.
Okay, was that reassuring or was that annoying?
That was reassuring.
Oh, good.
Because it was quick and easy, and just made me feel they're really looking out.
Yeah, and so if you think about that, an attacker to log into your bank account would need your password. Again, that's a throwaway. Like even though I would still recommend creating strong passwords, like do not consider that any kind of preventative measure. But they would also need your phone, right? An attacker would need your phone.
But that's out there.
Well, your phone number's out there. I guess there's a way to steal your phone number, but again, like in theory,
But they wouldn't know when to send me that code, because I was just sitting right there.
Right.
In person, actually.
right. But the bigger point is that the authentication requires a password, and it requires a device. It requires like somebody to have the device, which is much harder to do. It doesn't mean somebody couldn't get your device someday, but it prevents somebody from China from logging in as you, right? Because they don't have access to your phone.
Right.
I only bought a cell phone for using multi-factor,
Really? No kidding.
because I don't use cell phone.
Yeah, okay.
Now, I've also, lately, they've come up and said, instead of using the phone for multi-factor verification, you can get some other kind of code which you store somewhere else.
Is it an app? What they saying? It's an app that generates a code?
No, well, no, there's also that, there are devices. I had a device from somebody once that I needed to use, and you got the code.
Right, and they have those now, they're called authentication apps, where when I log into my accounts, instead of a text message, I use Google Authenticator. And so when I open up Google Authenticator, so I'll use my password, and then, you probably won't be able to see this from where you are, but these are like random numbers that get regenerated every 60 seconds.
Yeah.
And so this would be an alternative from that physical device that you probably
Yeah.
had been using.
Key thing.
Yeah, it's called a little key fob.
And it would,
Yeah. So listen, do me a favor.
I still need a cell phone.
But you need a phone.
Google Authenticator.
You still need a phone, right? A Google Authenticator.
So, did you say that was Google Authentication?
Google Authenticator.
I have to pay a monthly fee for the phone.
Authentication?
that I don't use for anything.
You know,
Is it an app?
it's just an app that you can download. It's called Google, and you log in with your Gmail account.
Yeah.
And then a lot of sites these days, when you go to their multi-factor authentication options section after you log in, most sites have that as an option now.
So, I've been hearing
Yeah, but
about
I need to
pass
have-
keys
Right.
as being more secure than passwords.
Password.
How do those work?
So the passkeys it's a digital passkey that's stored on your device.
On your
So,
cell phone?
so it lives on your phone, right? And so the concept is going back to like, you need your phone to log into that site. So the passkey is like a digital key that like lives on the device. So the second factor, it's called, is a physical device.
Yeah.
And that's why those are so strong, because again, there's no way that somebody can log in remotely as you without the physical device.
What is the pass key?
The passkey is just a digital encrypted file that like lives on the device.
So how
But
do
it
you
lives on your
set them
phone.
up?
It lives on your phone usually, yes. You can have it on like a computer too, but most of the time where you're going to see it, they're going to ask if you want to have the passkey live on your phone.
Most of the time I see it is on the PC.
Computer?
Yeah, so it can live on a PC too.
Yeah.
But again, it's tying like a physical device to your login.
So how do you find out how to use that? There's-
It should happen automatically. Like like the way that the operating systems work, you shouldn't really have to like look for it. It should just identify like there's
You
a
have to set it up to start with.
yes, and it should prompt you to set it up. Like typically when you're logging into a site that allows passkeys, the site may come up and say, would you like to use a passkey the next time you log in? If you say yes, then it will create this digital encrypted file on the device.
The confusion here sometimes is that people get confused about whether a passkey replicates a password and is going to take over from that.
It's different.
What's the difference of the two?
So it can replace a password. Like the passkey can take the place of the entire what's called the authentication process. Yeah.
I typically log on to my bank or investment accounts from my PC.
Yeah.
And so if it asks me if I want to use a pass key, and I click yes, then how does that get to my cell phone?
It won't get to your cell phone. You'll have to do that separately on that device because it like that passkey only lives on the computer that you're using.
Okay.
So you'd have to do it like it would prompt you again on your phone to have a passkey there. Yeah, I would say like I wouldn't put too much pressure on yourself to use it. I mean, if you want to try the passkey, that's great. I think my homework assignment for all of you is to like when you go home, make a list of again all the accounts that would be painful if they got hacked. There might only be 4 or 5. We're not talking like hundreds here. Like,
Not that rich.
right, figure out what those accounts are, and make sure there's multi-factor authentication turned on. It doesn't really matter what that is. If it could be a text message, it could be the phone app. If you want to do the passkey, that's awesome too. But the key is just to make sure that it's more than just a password.
I've never seen authentication as a choice. You know, it's either, call me or email. So where do you find that? I mean, is that just some place?
It should be like after you log into a site, there should be like in settings or somewhere like there should be a section that says security, and it should allow you to choose. I would not choose email because if your email gets hacked
Oh, yeah,
and the hacker's in your email, then they get the email code there. That would be like
yeah,
last resort
right.
is the
I
email
know
code.
we can text, but I would like that authentication.
Yeah. Yeah, so poke around. I would look in, like, there should be the security section for most logins for that.
Okay.
All right, so the password stuff, again, this is the big one. I cannot stress that enough, like the multi-factor or two-factor authentication. We have that. What else do we have here? This is just what to do if you've been scammed. I think we talked about this, like calling the bank. If you do lose money, if you get to a situation where you know what, I just lost $1,000, like that's gone. I would recommend going to the police station, the Stow police, and filing a police report. They won't be able to do anything, like they're not gonna be able to help you get the money back, but for insurance purposes, it's good just to have some record that it happened. So I'd recommend doing that. The FBI, I find, is like pretty good at helping sometimes. Like they can help reverse wire transfers. So you want to act quickly. If a wire transfer happened, let's say like there's a wire transfer from your bank account, typically if you can file notice within 48 hours, you'll get that money back. So a lot of times like what they like to do is they like to try to like trick people on a Friday night so that it bakes over the weekend and maybe Monday they're not really clear and then it's like midweek the next week. But I see this too with like big bank financial transactions too in the millions and tens of millions of dollars. As long as you can act quickly within 24 to 48 hours, you have a pretty good chance of pulling that back. The FBI can be helpful with that and your bank can be helpful with that. So I would like start with the bank and then you can file a report with, it's called the FBI IC3. And basically what this does, you can go to the website and you can file a complaint for fraud. That will get routed to the Boston FBI field office. And if they feel like they can be helpful, they'll reach out to you and try to help. What else? And then quick reference guide for you all. Again, we can email this to you later if you want a copy of this, but this is just sort of a recap of some of the things we talked about, some of the red flags, urgency, gift card payments, don't ever let someone remote access into your computer unless you initiate it. Suspicious email or texts. So the do this, like the hang up thing, again, it's like it's kind of goes against your being considerate and nice. Like you get a phone call, just hang up. Like don't worry about being rude or inconsiderate. The family code thing, if that's something that you want to try. Sending money to a bank, I'm reporting to the FBI, and then just some key contacts here for you. Again, I think if the most painful thing is losing money, obviously. Like if that happens to you, don't panic, because there are some ways to try to reverse that. And again, call your bank and then get a police report from the Stow Police Department and then contact the FBI. My tips. But again, this is all about awareness. Like I said in the beginning, like this has nothing to do with like somebody's intelligence level. It has everything to do with just like being aware that this stuff is happening. There are some very, very like high-powered chief financial officers that have been scammed and have wired tens of millions of dollars out of their company's account. Like this is not about like, you know, what kind of degree you have. It's just about like.
You haven't done that.
Me? I have not done that. I am not a chief financial officer. I don't have the ability to move that kind of money, but I've been involved with, because of my position, I've been involved in some pretty like crazy cyber attacks where there's been some massive damage. I was involved in a cyber situation a couple years back where ransomware, is anybody familiar with ransomware? So ransomware is like software that gets deployed to encrypt your computer. A company reached out because I think they had 20,000 computers across like 300 locations that were all encrypted with ransomware. And it basically brought the company to their knees. Like they couldn't do it, they could not. They couldn't do anything. I mean, they were going to go out of business because everything was encrypted. And so the initial ransom ask from the attackers, I think, was $2.5 million. And we negotiated that down to, I think, $800,000. And once we paid them in cryptocurrency, they sent us what's called the decryption key, so we could decrypt all of the computers.
Did it work?
It worked.
What if they send you the wrong one and just left?
Well, here's the thing. They view that as a legitimate business, and they have a reputation to protect. And if I say this in all seriousness, if people pay and can't decrypt, their whole business model goes out the window. And so actually, like, I ran point with communicating with the cyber attackers, and I kind of said to them, like, I need some assurances that this is going to work. And they said to me, they will provide tech support. But sure enough, they sent me the decryption key, and it was like, the decryption key only worked one computer at a time. And so I remember emailing them back, and we had this long email correspondence. I said, listen, like, we need to automate this thing because we have 20,000 encrypted computers here. And so they worked with me to help build a script to unencrypt all of the computers. But they want it to work because they want to be able to say, we encrypted that company, they paid, we helped them decrypt it.
But surely, once you've reported all this, the FBI and whoever else will be immediately searching for this company and trying to
Right.
put them out of business.
The Department of Justice got involved in that one, and the feedback that we got from the DOJ was that they knew who the attack group was, but it was a nation state, and there was really nothing. Nation state being it was like some group like a North Korean attack group that had some cover from the government, and there was nothing that the DOJ could do to
So that $800,000 just disappeared to North Korea?
Well, it was a payment that was made to some group. Yeah, I don't know if it was North Korea, but the feedback that we'd gotten was that the federal government knew who that was, but there was nothing they could do to take them down or to like retrieve the funds for that.
If they're not able to do anything with such a big thing, then what are they going to do for the average person in a small town?
Well, what they could, the one thing that they could do is if a lot of times they'll see like a trademark of like certain attackers. And so if they see like, let's say they've gotten like 30 calls in one day, they may be able to act on behalf of everybody and stop that wire transfer from happening and pull that back. A wire transfer is a little different from transferring cryptocurrency because the moment you hit enter and you transfer those coins, they're gone. Like I don't want to say it's impossible to get those back, but it's extremely difficult to do that. I mean, there have been crypto payments in like the tens of millions of dollars that the federal government has no ability to stop or to pull back. And companies want, and we're willing to pay that because for them, it's a risk reward. Like, you know, $10 million is going to hurt, but it's better than going out of business. Or they especially like retail companies have calculations. If they're not shipping product or if stuff isn't getting purchased, they can tell you every 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour what revenue loss they have. And so for them, it's like a clock. Like if we reach 1 day, that's $1 million of lost revenue. Like 3 days is 3 million. So for them, like they're sort of weighing the risk reward with like paying that ransom versus like what it's going to cost your business not to deal with these people. Unfortunately, like the ransomware thing is pretty serious. Like you're backed into a corner. If you get ransomed, here are the options. You pay the ransom, or you restore from backup. There's no third option.
Or what?
Or you restore from backup.
Oh, from my backup.
If you have a backup, right.
Okay.
So individually, you might say, that's no big deal. But if you're a company with 20,000 computers and 5,000 servers, it's like, okay, we could restore that, but that might take us like 6 months. We're just going to pay the ransom and move on.
Most companies back up their computers every night.
They do. The backing up part's ezy.
Yeah.
The restoring it.
Okay.
The company that I mentioned that had all those computers, I remember getting on a phone call. I got on a call immediately after that happened, and they had a person, and his job was only to do backups. That was his only job, was to do backups because they were big enough. And I said to him, I said, do you have good backups? And he was very excited. He said, yes, we have clean backups from last night. And my next question was, when was the last time you tested the restore process? And there was silence. Because what I was getting at, I was like, how long is it going to take to do the restore? And after continuing with the conversation, it would have taken months to do that restore across 200 locations. So,
It would have been out of date by then.
well, yeah, at that point, the company just said, you know, let's just pay this ransom as much as that sucks and hope this never happens again.
So,
We had an automatic backup system and then got hit with a ransomware, and the backup got the ransomware.
Oh, right, yeah.
So we lost a number of files, but
Yeah, you need what's called immutable backup, which is a backup that cannot be erased or written over.
what's it called?
Immutable backup. So that's what companies have moved to that, where once they create a backup, it cannot be written or deleted for that for that reason. Yeah.
But then they've got piles of backup.
Well, you know, it's all digital, so you're paying for storage. So it's actually not as bad as you think.
I have a question about,
Yeah.
you said that we should update our software.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm tooling along, and I get this pop-up or something that says, update your software. But I'm busy, and I'm not sure about that, because it just popped up out of nowhere. And I don't know whether it's legit or not.
You want to be careful, right? So
Yeah,
the,
so
when I say
don't do
soft
it.
up back, I think if you have an iPhone, I don't know how many people have
I'm
iPhones,
talking
but
about my computer.
right. So the iPhones, I think, is pretty simple. Like you know where those are. Like you want to do the software updates. On the computer, it's a little bit more tricky. Like you want to make sure they're Windows updates coming from your computer, not like some pop-up that came through an email or a website.
Yeah, I can't tell, and I didn't initiate it. And I want to initiate it.
Okay, so if you search for Windows Update on your computer, that will pop up a window and it'll show you if there's any updates that need to be installed. But why those are important is because attackers are always looking for what's called code vulnerability that they will try to exploit. And there's always this cat and mouse game between software companies and attackers. Attackers will find an error in the code and they'll use that as a way to get into your computer. And then companies will develop software to patch that vulnerability. So 90% of the time when you get a software update, it's to patch a vulnerability. So you really want to stay up to date on your software patching.
If you have a PC, with Windows.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
So usually you see a little orange icon
Yes,
on
I
the
do.
bottom right.
Uh-huh.
Those are legitimate.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Is Java still a thing?
Not really.
Okay.
It's not
I
red.
remember one discussion like this a few years
Oh.
back. Always a keep Java.
Yeah, I mean, only very old websites still use Java. I wouldn't bother with that. But any other questions or thoughts for me.
Well,
Yeah.
one thing you mentioned, if you've been hacked, to do a credit freeze.
Oh, yes, yes.
I do
That's a
credit
great one.
freeze anyway.
Yes,
mean, it's
I
just
love
a good
that. Thank you.
idea. And at our age, we're probably not, applying for a lot of loans or new credit.
Thank you. That's a great idea.
You can unfreeze it easily enough if you are going to apply for a loan,
That's huge.
so.
Does everybody know what a credit freeze is?
No, tell me.
Do it. Do it. So there's three main credit bureaus. When you apply for a loan or a line of credit, so it's these three right here, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. When you apply for a loan or a line of credit, the bank or the lender is going to go and run a credit report on you. If your credit is frozen, a credit report cannot be run on you, and the bank or the lender will just shut the process down. I would have that frozen all the time. So my credit's frozen with those three, and which, if I go to buy a car, for example, like the leasing company or whoever I'm going to get the loan from, I've been at a dealership actually where they've come back and said, your credit's frozen. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. So I will log into those sites and I'll unlock. You can unlock it for like an hour, a day. I'll unlock it for like an hour. They'll run the credit check and then I'll lock it back up again. But what that does, it prevents anyone from opening up a legitimate account in your name, because the bank cannot complete the credit check process if it's frozen. That actually, I'm so happy you brought that up, because that is huge. Like number one way to protect yourself from somebody opening up an account in your name is to do that.
You have to do it on all three separate.
You have to do it all three separately, unfortunately, yeah. It's
Once a year?
well, once it's frozen until you unfreeze it.
You mean forever?
It can be forever. Yeah.
They have another one that is like 7 years something.
I don't know about the 7-year one, but you have control to freeze it and unfreeze it.
Oh,
Yeah, and so
thought it was only good for 1 year.
no, it's good for once you freeze it, you can have it on forever.
Fraud alert, I think that's a 7 year.
Oh, maybe you get like access to it or something for that long.
I have received credit cards that I didn't open, even though my credit was frozen.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. Yeah, I'm not sure quite how that happened, because a bank will not issue any kind of line of credit if they cannot complete a credit check. And if these accounts are frozen, they can't run a credit check. So I'm not sure how that credit card got opened up. That's interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah,
My name and it comes to my house, but I never asked.
yeah. The other thing I think is really valuable about these three sites is that by law they're required to give you one credit report a year. And so I would log in, create an account, log in, and request the credit report, because you'll see everything that's assigned to you, like every credit card, every mortgage, and any kind of like debt that you have will be in the credit report. That's what like creditors see when they're running these reports. But you'll be able to see, like, is there a fraudulent credit card in my name? You'll see it on that report.
And he sent it to your home by mail or?
No, it'll be digital. Yeah, you'll log in and you'll see it digitally. You can print it if you want to. Yeah,
But you could print it.
you can print it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would definitely. That'll give you some peace of mind. Like if everything looks good there, then you can be like, okay, I'm good. I don't have any like weird credit cards. Nobody bought a boat in my name that I didn't know about. Yeah, so that's huge. What else?
We didn't talk about identity theft. That's what I thought was happening. Someone
Okay.
was-
Yeah. So do you have like a specific question or thought about identity?
Yeah,
Theft?
well, when I was working, somebody was trying to collect money as unemployment. And that was alerted to me by my employer.
Yeah.
I was working.
That happened to me too. So I got a letter from, I guess, the unemployment office. It must have been somebody trying to collect unemployment name. I've had somebody trying to get tax refund in my name. Some of it is not much you can do aside from just like following up with those agencies to correct it.
I was lucky the company caught it.
Yeah. Oh, good.
They alerted.
Oh, right, because the company has to pay that if it's unemployment. They probably.
They know I'm working, so
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, right. So the company got that because they probably got a letter saying, you owe us money for so-and-so who's unemployed.
So
Yeah,
it's like somebody took my ID.
yeah.
So they do have my social security
Everybody's social security numbers are out there. Like, I'm sorry to say, but like,
and addresses and phone numbers.
everything's been hacked and leaked multiple times. So again, the very best thing you can do is to lock your credit. That will protect you. That'll provide massive protection against like major like identity theft of your credit.
I get a lot of phone calls of numbers that I don't
Yeah.
recognize, so I don't.
Me too.
answer.
Annoying.
They don't leave me a message.
Yeah.
So I imagine it's the bank trying to get me to unfreeze my account.
Maybe.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't answer.
Yeah,
I
good.
block them.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't answer it either.
Unblocking it, it takes a few minutes, but at least I won't get a call from that person.
Yeah.
But I only know it's fake because they don't leave a message.
Yeah.
And sometimes my cell phone will give me a notice and say, scam likely.
Right.
Scam likely.
Right.
Words, I don't answer.
Yeah, it's annoying. There's not much you can really do about it. It's super annoying, but
Yeah.
I think it's just part of life with having a cell phone. Is you're going to get lots of salespeople and you're going to get lots of scammers.
Yeah, and also on emails, I will get an email that says, so-and-so, this numbers, join the conversation. They join the conversation.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But it's a bunch of numbers.
There's a whole bunch.
and people.
Yeah. Again, they're hoping like one of those people respond. Bunch of random numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So usually what I do immediately, I get out of the conversation, then delete it.
That's great. That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ignore it and delete.
But if I'm in a hurry, I didn't notice I'm already answering other
Oh, right.
emails, and I wonder if they got it. My
Yeah. I mean, again, I would just assume all of your information is out there. Like someone's hacked your everything. Social Security, email address, phone number, like that stuff is, and once it gets out, it gets resold and resold and resold, and it's just like, it's difficult. It's super annoying, but it's kind of a part of the digital life that we've kind of, whether we signed up for it or not, we're in it. So, yeah. All right, thank you everybody. Thanks for coming. By the way, it sounds like we're going to do an AI session in September. So if you want like up-to-date info on artificial intelligence, we'll do that. All right.